All right, big shout out to you guys. We hit our like goal for the last video. So big shout out to you guys. You guys heard me and you came through. So in this video, obviously we're talking about Daniel Jones. And in my future video, I'll be talking about Antonio Brown. Because obviously the big news broke today, but I'm not going to talk about it right now because there's a lot of things circling around Antonio Brown. And I will throw my perspective out there. Obviously, my perspective on Antonio Brown isn't the most kind, but it really needs to be said again. So, the like goal for this video, we'll just go up only 5. 25 likes is the goal for this video. With no further ado, obviously, let's get into it. So today, obviously, we're going to talk about expectations for Daniel Jones. And this is a really, really hard thing to predict. It really is because he's shown some flashes and guys have broken down the tape like a David Deal or Brian Baldinger. Both guys I enjoy when coming down to film. But he's also shown mistakes on film. A propensity to stare down a wide receiver. A propensity to not be able to hold on to the football. Now, all these are correctable, but until he proves they are correctable, it's hard. That makes it a really tough thing to predict. Now, maybe I should get an updated photo of Danny Dimes in a Giants uniform, but I don't know. I like this photo. I like this photo of him getting ready to throw in a Duke uniform because, hey, I'm actually not, I don't think, a lot of people think they're ugly. I actually don't mind it at all. But getting on to a more serious note, what are my expectations for Daniel Jones? Well, first off, in yesterday's video, I talked about how Pat Shurmur needs to get him comfortable, and I believe he does. Everybody thinks that butterflies are a bad thing, and he's definitely going to have butterflies before today's game. There's no doubt about it. Think about any time that you were doing something in your life. Maybe your first baseball game, basketball game, football game. Maybe you did a recital when you were a kid. Anything, a big moment. Maybe you were getting ready to take your driver's license. Whatever it may be, you always have butterflies. And butterflies are a good thing. They keep you alert. They keep you focused, and they keep you ready to go in the game. So he's definitely going to have butterflies today. So what Pat Shurmur needs to do is he needs to call some plays, especially early, to get him comfortable. A quick slant to Sterling Shepard or Evan Ingram. A quick pitch to Saquon Barkley for big yardage. Something. Get him comfortable. Once you get him comfortable, then you can start calling the naked boots, the rollouts. Give him an easy completion or two to get his nerves in the game. Or get the nerves out of the game and ready to go. Okay, that's first. That's what Pat Shurmur needs to do. Also, Pat Shurmur needs to call a flawless game. Okay, Pat Shurmur has had questionable play calling, I believe, throughout his Giants tenure, and he needs to let that go. Because at this point, your play calling is going to affect this kid. So, he needs to call a flawless game. Now, obviously, the Giants have shown a very strong propensity to be able to call the first portion of the game correctly, the first drive, because everything is pre-drawn up. So it's hard for a defense to adjust. Sometimes you can get them on the back foot, and the Giants have been able to do that and score. The problem is, once the defense adjusts, Pat Shurmur has done a horrible job of adjusting again, and he needs to be able to do that in this game. Now, as far as expectations for Daniel Jones, I expect 1 or maybe even 2 turnovers in this game. Maybe a fumble, maybe an interception. But he's shown a propensity to battle through that. Bowles is a very aggressive defensive coordinator. He blitzes 50% of the time on downs 1 through 3. And when you talk about third down, he blitzes 60% of the time. He's going to show Daniel Jones different looks. We have to be ready. Now, I don't believe Daniel Jones is a tough kid. He doesn't let himself get too high or too low. And he's shown a propensity to be able to stand in the pocket and make that throw, which Eli Manning, to his credit, hasn't done in a couple years. Daniel Jones will. And the offensive line is there. So what are my total expectations of Daniel Jones? I expect probably between 20 and 30 yards rushing. Probably right around 200 yards passing. I believe we're going to get a heavy dose of Saquon Barkley. A touchdown, 2 touchdowns, I should say. Not touchdown, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. I still believe at the end of the day, Saquon Barkley is going to get a rushing touchdown. And I'm going to stick with my prediction yesterday. 28-21, Tampa Bay Bucks. And Daniel Jones is going to have a solid day. Until the defense proves that it's willing to step up, the spark is there, the spark is lit. James Bettcher makes the proper adjustments to put his players in a good position. I cannot pick the Giants to win this game. Believe me, I'm going to be rooting like hell for the Giants to win this game. I want to see Daniel Jones get his first win in a Giants uniform. But this game is incredibly hard to predict. And it can go so many ways. But that remains to be seen. So I'm eager to watch this game at 4 o'clock. Either way, it's been one Giant Rebuttal. Please like and subscribe and go big.